Hello, my name is James Massengille, and I'm going to be running you through a quick demonstration of our HyperLedger Fabric application. The use case for our solution is a situation where we have multiple organizations within a blockchain network, and our goal is to store all transaction data in the ledger in an encrypted format, supporting fine-grained access control. Additionally, I'll be demonstrating a secure mechanism to share selected transactions with external authorized entities outside of the blockchain network, while also still supporting that fine-grained attribute-based as well as role-based access control. It's important to note here that we assume that we have multiple untrusted writers within these organizations, bringing a need for the permission blockchain platforms such as HyperLedger Fabric. Our solution is also generic and can be implemented with any permission network where you have multiple untrusted writers. Right now, I'm just bringing up the test network. For our test bed, we simply use two organizations, Organization 1 and Organization 2. And this takes just a minute to look up here, but I'll go through submitting a transaction through our web portal, and then I'll be showing you all CouchDB's view of the encrypted transaction, as well as the actual blockchain or block file, the distributed ledger view as well from one of our organizations, which is just a Docker container running on our test network. So looks like our network is up now. I'm going to go into our web application here, and I will show that in just a moment. But first, we need to enroll an admin and an app or a regular user, which we call app user, at these organizations, and those will go in our wallet. So there's our admin. We've successfully enrolled it, and then we'll register a user, which we call app user. And that is now in our wallet. So we are now ready to interact with the network and start adding transactions to the actual blockchain. So here's our web portal. Very simple, very basic. So we'll do a smart fridge, and we'll say that that smart fridge's price is $2.99, and we'll say that we're doing a proof of purchase or a receipt for 13 smart fridges priced at $299.99. And it's important to note here, we're actually acting as an app user at Organization 1. So we have a transaction type as well. We have two transactions types, proof of purchase and proof of shipment. So we'll submit that. From the web portal, we're able to query and see the asset in plain text. So we have an item ID, the source, the destination, the product that was sold, the individual item price of the product that was sold, the quantity of which it was bought, the total price, date, etc., transaction type. So the first thing that I want to show is the view from CouchDB. And let me refresh here. So we'll log in. So the database that we're going to be looking for is the channel that our organizations are connected through, as well as the name of our chain code that's installed on that channel. So my channel, warehouse transaction, this is what we're looking for here. And we can see that asset that I just added, that smart fridge. And if we look, all we can see is ciphertext. CouchDB does some encoding over our ciphertext. That's why it looks like base 64 there. Note that the only thing that we do not encrypt is that asset ID. We can read asset 1 in plain text. We do this for searchability within our blockchain platform. But it's important to note, without our encryption schema, this CouchDB stores everything into plain text. So we would be able to see all of the fields I was talking about before. We'd be able to see the source, the product that was sold, the price that the item was sold at, as well as the total. You'd be able to see all those values here, and now the only plain text is the asset ID. So next, I actually wanted to show the view of the actual block file that's stored on one of our containers. So we'll take a look at it from the view of organization 1. And the directory that I am looking for here is the name of our channel, and there it is, my channel. So if we run an ls here, we see that block file. And we can actually open this up, and we can search for asset 1. So we see it here. Same thing as with CouchDB with this block file. Before the encryption was implemented, all of this ciphertext would have been our transaction details. You would have been able to see every field. It doesn't matter if you're the app user, the admin. This is stored in plain text for everyone. So with the encryption schema, now we have a ciphertext, and the transactional data at rest is much more secure. Next, I want to show off our exporting mechanism. So for product, we will do a smart alarm this time, and we will say that that was $69.99 wholesale, and we'll say that they bought 13 of those as well. And this time, we will do a proof of shipment. So transaction submitted successfully. We'll query the ledger again. Oh, didn't go through. Try that one more time. And I did proof of purchase. Okay. Okay, well, we'll say that they bought the alarms, and now we're going to ship the alarms. So they bought 13 alarms, $50.99, and we'll do this one as a proof of shipment. So now if we query, we should have 3, and we do. So we need to do the buy before the ship. So we sent them the receipt, and now we're notifying them that we have shipped that product. So now, this comes into the use case where some authorized third-party entity needs to have this transactional data for whatever reason. Whether organization 2 is in a dispute with organization 1 about did they ship this or they bought this at this price, you're actually able to take that ledger data, and we can export that to a spreadsheet file. And this could be shared. And with the help of Prospect, once we run this through Prospect, we enable that fine-grained, attribute-based, and role-based access control. So we can open up this Excel sheet here, and we can see all that information in plain text. And I wanted to show this in plain text. So we could actually look at what's going on with the Excel sheet. So we have a proof of purchase worksheet here. So we separate these out by sheets. So asset ID, buyer, seller, product name, same as the front end. And then proof of delivery, we see that asset 3 where we actually ship the item to organization 2. And then from there, we send it through Prospect Generator, and we get a secure data container to transport this information to some authorized third-party entity. So thank you so much for your time. This has been my demonstration.